Hey gamers, it's Kristin, and I have part 2 of my Empties video for you. I'm not sure what that was. From my Empties video for you. We are just going to jump in and get started. I think that, as I said in my last one, I have mostly skincare and makeup left in here to share with you. So I'm just gonna tip this so that I can reach in and see. But first I want to do have an empty of a perfume. This is my favorite scent, my signature scent, whatever. This is Lancome La Vie Belle. It's just, if you were asked my church cuties, they would say this is, or my nieces or nephews, they would say this is what Aunt Kristin smells like. It's just my favorite. I do have several other fragrances that I like and use, but this is by far my favorite. Hands down, bar none. No ifs, ands, or buts. My favorite. All right, let's pull out some skincare here. Here's something that I don't know that I've ever talked about. This is the Finipil antiseptic cream. I don't know that I've ever heard anybody else talk about this, but I've used this for years and years and years and years. This is what I use on my bikini line, and because otherwise it really gets irritated when I shave there. It gets, you know, red little dots. It's the whole thing. You don't need me to explain to you what happens. This will stop that. I usually will use it on the day that I shaved, and then the next day, and then that's all I need to use. So one of these lasts me a very long time. I think I just get it on Amazon now, but I love this. It's great. So if you've never tried this, give it a shot. It's awesome. Okay, moving on. This is and I would repurchase that, have repurchased it. I feel like I maybe didn't say that enough in the last, but I feel like my reviews also tell you whether I would or wouldn't repurchase it, but at any rate. This is the Murad Hydrating Toner. I've repurchased this over and over again. I don't remember the last time I used a different toner. This one is just my favorite. Even when I've used other ones, I end up just going back to this. So I have a refillable bottle that I have in my, I'm trying to move my leg. I sit, in case you're new and didn't catch the first one of these, I sit on the floor to shoot these so that I can separate my trash into recycling and trash. I have this in my travel as well. So that is that. Here is a cleanser that I love. I have cut this one open as well, like I do with everything. This is the Algenist Genius Ultimate Anti-Aging Melting Cleanser. This is my number 2 favorite, but my number 1 repurchase because of the fact that it's in a squeeze tube. It Cosmetics Bye Bye Makeup is my favorite, but I don't love having to get a spatula and scoop it out and all the things. I've mentioned that in another video as well. So you've probably already heard me talk about that, but I love this. It works really, really well. It just makes my eyes a touch cloudy for a few minutes. And that's the only reason that it is second to the Cosmetics Bye Bye Makeup, because that doesn't do that. But this wins out in repurchase because it's in a squeeze tube. These are the things that are important to me. Other things may be important to you, but that's what's important to me. Okay. This is the e.l.f. Holy Hydration Face Cream. I did use all of it. Nope, this was not Holy Hydration for me. I ended up using this in the morning and using something else at night. It was not enough. Nowhere near enough. Some people really like this. I just didn't like it. It didn't work for me. It was a great price point. And if your face isn't, so I am, as we're getting into skincare, let me just refresh all of your memories, or if you're new, I'm giving you new information. I am 49 years old and I have dry, not dry combo, I have dry skin. If I don't keep it in good condition, it will get dry in a quick hurry. And so I need products that have really good hydration, and this just didn't do it for me. Wasn't my favorite. I can't remember. Yeah, it had this florally fragrance to it that I didn't love either. Like a clean floral, but a floral nonetheless. Now, if you want to talk about a face cream that gives you great hydration, that is amazing, this is where it's at. This is the Algenist Regenerative Anti-Aging Moisturizer. I have used the Genius. I'm just looking to see if I have one in here. I don't. I've used the Genius from Algenist. I've used, a ton of other ones. I'm trying to think if there's another one from Algenist that I've used. But this is my go-to. I'm using one right now. I have gone through 2 of these. This is by far, hands down, my absolute favorite moisturizer. My skin, when I go back to this, that's when I start getting comments too on Instagram, like, your skin looks so great. What are you doing? You know, like, it is always when I go back to this. and also a few other products that at some point in time I will do a video of this that is like, you know, if I could only pick one from each thing, what would it be? Sort of a skincare, you know, if I wasn't going to ever try anything or couldn't have access to anything again. I don't know what I would name that, but aside from Holy Grail, but I just feel like Holy Grail is overused. I would want a more creative name than that. But anyway. All right, so this moisturizer actually was pretty good as well. This is the Glam Glow Moisture Trip Omega Rich Moisturizer. And I don't remember anymore where I got this, whether this was in a bag or I feel like it might have been in a BoxyCharm. I don't know. But anyway, I love this. I used it up. It was like, had this like green to it. I loved it. It was great. It's not as good as my Algenist, but it was great. I'd have to take a look at price point if this is a little bit less than the Algenist. The Algenist I think is $94. I get it on QVC for $90, but I paid shipping on QVC, or I wouldn't if I got it from Sephora. I don't know. At any rate, it's about $94. It's not cheap, but it works for me. So I would have to see. I would totally, if this one is less expensive, I'd switch it off with my Algenist because I did like it. It was good. All right, I have sorted my trash and we're going to continue on with skincare and then we'll finish up with makeup. This is the Ole Henriksen Truth Serum. This has been my favorite vitamin C serum forever and ever, amen. Really, really like this. I've tried a few other things, working on one other one right now, but you know, if you've watched me at ever before, you've heard, I'm certain that you've heard me talk about that. So this is the Kate Somerville Biomimicking Peptides Smooth Firm. Okay, I think that's all the words. I like stopped as if there were more. So it looks like this. This was sent to me in PR. I did use all of it and I did really like it. I used it as a night serum and I did like it. I feel like I noticed a little bit of a difference, but not as much as I do when I use a couple other serums that I typically go back to. But I did like this, and I would repurchase it again. I would work it like into rotation. I don't typically, I'm curious about you guys. Do you use multiple serums in one night? I generally just use one serum. I cleanse my face, I tone my face, I put a serum on of some sort, eye cream, and moisturizer. Do you use multiples? I'm curious. I need to do more research on that. I'm not a skincare expert by any means. All I can tell you is what I've used and what works for me. Okay, let's see. A couple of Algenist things. This is the Sleeping Collagen. So I used up a full size of one of these and then this small one. And I have to tell you, I really liked it. I did not think that I would like it's like a solid serum that you kind of warm up and then put all over your face. I did not think that I would like it, and I did really like it. And I really felt like it made my face feel a little, you know, plumper and more hydrated in the morning than when I didn't use it. So that's something I would absolutely repurchase. I think the full size that was sent to me, or the full size that I used, I believe was sent to me. It was the one that had my name etched on it, which was the coolest thing ever for me. And then I've bought a couple of travel size kits that have that in it. So this is the Algenist Genius Anti-Aging Eye. I don't like this one very much. It's not my favorite. I don't feel like it's moisturizing enough. But having said that, this is the replacement of the Anti-Aging Renewal Balm that I liked. It's called the Triple Algae Eye Renewal Balm by Algenist. I have two of them. I have been on, I'm on auto delivery for this from QVC. I purchased it this, you know, or set it up, whatever, this summer. So I think it comes every 2 months. So I have one in my travel, typically, and I have, you know, the one here. Currently, I'm using a different, I'm using the CeraVe eye cream in my travel bag, and I really like that. I know I mentioned that in another video as well, but I love this. I will continue to repurchase this. I will try other things once my auto delivery is over, but I do really like it. Okay, so I talked about this a little bit in the haul video where I showed that It Cosmetics had sent me another one of these. This one they sent to me as well. This is their Bye Bye Dullness Concentrated Derma Serum. It's 15% vitamin C and vitamin E. So I liked this. I didn't feel like it gave me as much brightening as like the Ole Henriksen does. I didn't like the smell of it. It just was kind of medicinal, so it wasn't the best experience. And there's something to be said for the experience of doing your skincare and things as well. Excuse me. And it's runny, so you have to, when you put it in your fingers, you have to kind of be, it's almost water-like, so you have to be, you know, real careful to get it there and then get it on your face. And I'm not one of these, like, I can't do that. So, I mean, I could, but I just feel like I'm asking for trouble if I'm trying to, like, whatever. It's not a dropper, it's a pump. But, at any rate, I liked it. I just didn't think it was earth-shattering, and I didn't love the experience of it. I think if it was a little bit thicker and the smell was a little bit different, I might like it better. I understand that's not a reason to pick skincare, but whatever. It is what it is. All right. I had to shift. I'm sitting on the floor. Not as young as I once was. The Kate Somerville Firming Serum. So I like this. This was also sent to me. I like this. This I am certain is expensive, because the other thing that I have from this line, or that I've used from this line, that I have repurchased myself, is the Firming Eye Cream. Love that. Super expensive, but totally worth it if you can get like the 20%, you know, buy it when you have your coupon or whatever from Sephora. And I think there's a sale coming up, actually. Isn't it in April usually? I think so. I don't know when you're seeing this, so who knows? It could be happening as I'm speaking. But so I did feel like this firmed, and this is one where I felt like I was saying before, maybe I would use this and then use another one after it with some time in between. You know who I should ask is Tammy. Tammy really knows how to mix things, and because I've been off YouTube, I haven't been watching YouTube either. I just haven't made the time. I haven't really had the time, honestly. I think I can honestly say I just haven't had the time. But Tammy from, I don't know what her YouTube name is currently. Ageless Tammy? Anyway, Crazy Miss Tammy. I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about. She's a good one. She and I, you know, text back and forth every once in a while. So I could ask her, and I'm certain that she would help me. But that is the Kate Somerville Firming Serum. I would buy it again. You guys, my battery died because I didn't have it plugged in. Anyway. And then when I plugged it in, then I knocked the camera over us. So now, I don't know. Things maybe are askew. I just adjusted it again. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, let's just carry on, shall we? Last skincare thing, and then I have one that's kind of a transition, is the Wander Beauty Sight Seer Vitamin C Concentrate. So this one I feel is the closest that I found to the Ole Henriksen. Different, it dispenses differently, you know what I mean? That's not the right word. It was more of a cream, where the Ole Henriksen is more of a liquidy gel. It's probably it's more of a serum, and this is more of a cream. There you go. The Ole Henriksen is more of a serum, and the Wander Beauty is more of a cream. But it brightened my face, like I felt like the Ole Henriksen does. So I would absolutely purchase this one again and kind of work it in rotation. I did really like it, and I like the airless pump sort of situation that this has in it, so you can, you know, you get everything out of it. So I did like that. I wasn't sure if I would or not, and as I kept using it, I was like, yeah, this is good. So I did like that. So I have a couple now that I could put in rotation, and it's good for me to have other things in case Ole Henriksen ever stops making the True Serum. Okay, here's the, I feel like I need to pull you guys closer, like you got too far away or something in my whole debacle there. Okay, this is sort of like I said, it's a transition thing. This is the Capari Eye Renewal Balm. Nope, wrong. I mixed a description with a brand. The Capari Starry Eye Balm. I use this under my eyes like a primer for your face, or for your eyes. I mean, like you would use a primer for your face, I use this as a primer for my under eyes. And I'm not sure I'm holding that mascara in my hand. And I love this. This has worked so well for me in giving me the ability to use up concealers that previously would have just been maybe they look too cakey, or they made the lines under my eyes show up too much, or whatever. I absolutely, I'm not sure I'm showing you the empty product instead of this, but absolutely love this. Totally have repurchased I've lost count of how many of these I have purchased since I very first found this. And I think the person that I saw show this on Instagram that made me go, and buy it was Shades of Cassie. I don't know if she still does videos or not, but anyway, that's who I found that from. If she does, tell her I said hi. So, all right, let's talk about some makeup here. I have a couple foundations that I finished up. I am working through my foundations. I do have a couple, the one that I purchased a while ago, that Urban Decay, that I need to try, and the It Cosmetics one they currently sent me. But I really have worked through the majority of what I had in my stash of ones that I was willing to work through. So that's good. Yay me. This is the Estee Lauder Futurist Hydra Rescue. I'm in the shade 1 and 2. I did cut this open. Absolutely. Not only would I repurchase it, but if you've watched my haul video, this is part 2, so you would have seen both parts of my haul video are up. I'll list them below if you want. I have repurchased this already. This is a staple in my travel bag. I would use it all the time, but it's a good one, so I can use up other ones while I'm here. But this is going in my travel bag. And then I also finished this up, and I loved this. I opened this, scraped it, did all the things. This is the Makeup Forever HD. Boy, I wonder if it is even worth showing like how much makeup I used last year. Probably not. We'll just carry on from doing that. I'll figure out a new way to to shoot my use it up stuff. But anyway, Makeup Forever Ultra HD. I am in the shade Y225. I really like this. It's great. It's good coverage. I think my only issue with it is I don't feel like it lasts as long as some other foundations do, but I like the coverage. I like how the finish of it. Anyway, good foundation. That is not a mascara. Good foundation. Okay, well, speaking of mascara, so somebody asked me to do Mini Mascara Madness, and I can't do that because I've only been using the Pump It Up Maggie from Red Aspen. I love this mascara. Love, love, love it. It is the best mascara I have ever used. I am a brand ambassador for Red Aspen, so I understand if you perhaps wouldn't believe me, but if you watch my lives at all, you see this is the only mascara that I use. It has castor oil in it, so it helps encourage your eyelash growth if you wear it every day. And because of that, I've been able to stop buying and using the Rodan & Fields Lash Boost, which is what I was using to help with my eyelash. And they are still healthy and, thick and have the same length, and I haven't had to use that. So I have a little bit of curl in my natural lash, but this really adds to the curl and helps your lash stay up. It does not transfer on me. It doesn't flake. I absolutely love it. So that's the only Mascara Madness I can give you currently because it's all I've been using. Okay. A couple eyeshadows I used up. Nothing super exciting. A Wet n Wild Brulee and Catrice, which was what was it? Bring Me Frosted Cake. The same kind of thing. These are eyeshadows that I use after I put on my paint pot in Painterly, the MAC paint pot in Painterly. I put this on to ease in blending. It just sort of, gives a nice little veil of color and helps to blend. So used up both of those. I went through my collection in the past few years, and I have used up every single shade that let me phrase this. In my singles, I used up every one of them that was this kind of color. So I just recently purchased, again, I showed it in my haul video, but if you don't watch that, I repurchased Maybelline Linen. I tried to get more of the Wet n Wild Brulee, but I couldn't find it anywhere. So I got Maybelline Linen, which does the same thing, and it's like $3 or $4, something like that. Okay, I have a brow pencil in here that I used up. This is the Red Aspen Avery Brow Pencil in medium. Love this. Currently I'm using the one in dark just because I had it, but medium really is more my jam, more my color. These are very similar to the pencils that the Anastasia Beverly Hills pencils, in case you're curious. I had to pause because I kicked the chair. Let's have a moment of silence. I have a couple uses left in another travel size of these, but I think I have one too that a friend sent me now that I think about it. So I guess it's not time for a moment of silence, but we can have a moment of silence for the fact that they don't make it anymore because they have sadly gone out of business. And that is the Becca First Light Priming Filter. This is a travel size. This is a full size. I'm so sad. It was my favorite. My absolute favorite. I'm very sad. I'm sad that they went out of business. I'm sad for them. I'm sad for their employees. And I'm sad for my face. Okay, 2 last things. I have an empty pan here. This was the Mary Kay bronzer. I think it was light medium. It has a little bit of a sheen to it. I really liked this bronzer. It's absolutely one of my favorites. I had a backup that I started using. I put it in my travel and it smashed to smithereens. So I don't suggest traveling with the Mary Kay bronzer, but it is a lovely bronzer. Part of why I like it is because it was a nice soft, like, as far as in application would become part of your skin. Didn't look like a bronzer, but that is probably why it makes it not good for travel. So love the bronzer, don't suggest it for for travel. And there's the compact where you just buy the bronzer and then refill it. That's why it's just a pan sitting here. And then lastly is a MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus. I have used this forever. I go in spurts with using it, and typically I only have to use it. Boy, I feel like I've used the word typically a lot today. Generally, how about that? I only have to use it if I'm wearing a powder foundation or a foundation that just kind of really looks cakey and I'm trying to work my way through it. But it is always nice. I've always loved the scent of it, just the straight up normal one. It's just a nice sort of put it on at the end and make everything sort of meld together delightfully. And that, my friends, is the end of my empties that I have been collecting since pretty much October. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it brought somebody a little bit of value. I really try to do, and I always title it Empties and Mini Reviews because I don't want to just show you what I use and then not tell you anything about it. And so that's why mine are a little bit longer and why I had to split this into 2 because I had so much. So everything that's on my face you've already seen, listed below. If you have any questions, please leave me a message or something, or leave me a comment. If there's something that I use that I didn't like, and you do, I'd love to know why, because maybe I could use it in a different way, or it helps me, you know, learn if other people ask me about a particular product, or if there's something that you liked that I like, let me know that too. I like to know. I feel like a pat on the back, like, yep, I agree with you. Good job, Kristin. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, on that note, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you're having a great day, and everything that you do and say, be beautiful. Bye.